Welcome to the heart of the Motor City, y'all. Detroit fan form, we answer the call. From the grit and the grind to the wins we embrace. We showing mad love, let's set the pace. From downtown lights to the neighborhood crew. Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers too.
Hey, and welcome back to the Fan Forum podcast. It's me, Mark. There's no hitch on this episode. Actually, we're going to have a surprise guest come through. It is probably the biggest Buffalo Bills fan I know personally. He's a friend of ours, and I met him a few years ago, actually at my wedding. He's married to my wife's friend, and instantly became buddies based on sports, on football. So I want to have Wayne on today, and he's going to give us an opinion, give us the insight of a Buffalo Bills fan. Like I made mention in the last episode, I just see so much commonality between both our fan bases. Not only do you have the Bills Mafia, but you've got almost all grit or one pride. You just having a collection of blue collar fans that are super passionate about their sports town. And both towns kind of rival each other in the same sense too. Cold, snowy. Really the only difference is we were smart enough to make our stadium inside, which I still will never understand why they picked that to be outdoors. But that was actually one of the comments from one of the Buffalo fans that I spoke to at the game is it's so nice to be warm inside. So I'm actually curious to see if there's anybody out there that actually prefers the games to be played outdoors. I guess with the caveat being in a cold weather team. Hey, there he is.
Howdy.
Bills Mafia himself.
Arriba! Straight from Mexico.
How was Mexico?
That was actually really, really, really nice, man. We got lucky with the weather. The only negative about it is that my daughter was sick prior to us going, and then I caught something, possibly pneumonia, but you know what? We take the good, and we had a good time, so.
Good.
All good, man.
That seems to be going around right now. Jason was sick for, I swear, like a month and a half with the walking pneumonia. Yeah. He had the up and down fever, and he was on every antibiotic we could think of, but it's just, like you said, it is what it is.
That's it, man. Just got to power through.
Well, glad to have you on. I was just hyping you up as the biggest Bills fan I've ever met.
I'm honored to be here, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You actually spoke about this. We had a party at my place last year for my wife's 40th, and you mentioned you were going to start this podcast, man. So I'm really proud of you to see that you've got this going, and I'm happy to be on.
Thanks, dude. Well, yeah, we spoke, and I said we got to get together and start talking football because our fan bases are so similar.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are diehard. You guys are. There's nothing sexy about the Bills. Like, it's not warm weather. It's not. Famous players come through. I mean, same thing with the Lions, man.
Yeah.
Cold weather, just kind of like always facing adversity, similar colors too. I
call it blue collar football. And you know what? Say the towns, the cities have gone through adversity. They're both kind of you look on the map of North America, and they're not, like you said, they're not the sexiest destinations, but they got good people, good hardworking people, and their football teams are passionate. So, or their football fan bases are passionate. So we go from there.
Your fans, when I was at the game with Jason, we sat next to, it was like two friends forever. The one couple was Detroit, the other couple was Buffalo, and they came in from Buffalo. Dude, they were so nice. Every fan we saw there was just, I've been to so many Lions games where you go there just to see the other team and the fans are dicks.
Yeah.
Super complimentary of Ford Field, how nice it was to be inside, how cool of a team we are, how fun of a team it is to play. I've never been to a game in my life in any sport where it was, we lost and it was fun. It was just a good team to play. And I even told you, and I told my buddy Hitch, we're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
We don't have Josh Allen, dude. You guys, he's something special.
He's a cheat code. He is the cheat code, man. And yeah, I mean, going back to that game, man, we respect football. It's and just living here for the last 20 years now. I originally grew up in Toronto, but living here and seeing what the Lions have had to go through, and now they're in their grit era with Campbell leading the way. We love it, man. We love it, and it's nice to see teams that have been shit on all these years making the come up.
Yeah.
You guys did it the right way through the draft, through changing the organization. And you know what? We respect football and respect the passionate fan base. So that's where that camaraderie can play out. So it's really cool.
Man, I hope we see you guys in the Super Bowl. I really do,
That's
because
the plan.
I know you're sick of Kansas City, dude.
Oh my god, oh my god. I find myself like I don't want to say avid. I'm a casual bettor, and these last few weeks I'm just praying that the Steelers, the who else they play, the Texans, someone can knock them
Yeah.
off their pedestal, because I'm not sold that they're the best team. I think they're a great organization. They're a good team, but they're going to get smacked in the mouth, and they need to get smacked in the mouth. There's only a few teams that could do it. Yourself, the Lions, the Bills obviously did it already. I think the Ravens can smack them, but yeah, I can't. I'm not going to sit here. I can't celebrate another Chiefs making the Super Bowl run. It's going to drive me crazy. So, well,
It's over. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. It's a storyline that's been played out. It's the Hulk Hogan turns heel. Everybody loves him for a couple of years, and it's like, dude, stop winning.
we went through this with the Patriots.
Yes.
They sunned us for 17 years, and yeah, you get tired of it. And even if it's not us, someone's got to take them out. So I'm all for it.
And I don't even want everybody to be like, everybody against the Chiefs, because that just makes Roger Goodell, make them win more.
Yeah.
But it literally has to be kind of like a silent everybody against the Chiefs, right? Like I love watching my Lions. There's no doubt about it. But I found myself now week over week going, okay, when are the Chiefs playing so I can see them lose?
Yeah.
Like I just want to see somebody expose them.
Yeah. But what happens when you watch the game? I find myself saying, God damn it, another no call on that penalty. Wow, the Chiefs got this penalty. And I hate to be that guy, but it just seems like it happens all the time, is that there's these timely penalties, these lucky plays. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the NFL script writer that's making this happen, or are they just that good where they just nothing phases them? I don't know, but
maybe their first two Super Bowl runs, maybe their first Super Bowl run, I'd say they were just that good.
Yeah.
But it's getting a little suspicious now. It's getting a little, beyond the organization. I can respect when the organization's trying to cheat, but when the NFL is kind of teeing it up, I mean, it's worse than the NBA with Kobe. I mean, it is so obvious. Like you said, we did it with 17 years of the Patriots.
Yeah.
I've seen this before, man. This is like it's kind of alarming, because I think this is the year for the Lions and the Bills to be in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think the world wants to see two really good, high competitive teams with really respectful coaches and great quarterbacks, and we're done with this Hollywood crap.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I agree 100%.
So what did you see in that game that I don't want to say that, like, okay, so the first half of that game, you guys out-schemed us. You out-game planned us. There's no doubt about that. But in the second half, I really felt like we were playing catch-up. Was that us catching up, or was that you guys just taking your foot off the gas?
You know what? The reason why we won that game is because we got out to that quick start against you guys. Usually we're a slow starting team, and you saw last week against the Pats, and that's usually more of our MO. But going up 14-0 on you guys, that put us in the driver's seat. Had forced you guys to have to change your game plan, take the run game away, which is our weakness,
Sure.
and then from there on, then the offensive just took over. I mean, when Jared Goff is out here throwing almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you guys still lose, I don't think you can really call that catching up. It's just you have to flip the script a little bit, and that quick 14-0 start kind of changed the tone. And then obviously that St. Brown fumble was huge. But yeah, it was just it it was just a quick start, and then had to force you guys to have to change up your game plan. We kept playing. I wouldn't say we took our foot off the pedal. That would be very disrespectful to say that we did that against a team like with your caliber. But we put ourselves in a better position to slow the game down a little bit, try to play ball control here and there. But we still had to put up points. We had to put up 48 points to beat you guys, which is in today's NFL, that's kind of what they want, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The whole game that's exactly what the NFL wants. And it was just overall a great game.
Yeah, I would say you guys with those 14 points, those are the quickest 14 points I've ever seen scored. And Jason and I just looked at each other like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It just kind of like sucked the momentum because, like you said, our game plan's the same thing. Run the ball first, set up play action.
Yep.
Not hard to figure out, but man, when our pass rush has been missing for the last 6-7 games, like it was the first couple games, it pisses me off as a Lions fan. And I know Dan Campbell took immediate accountability, which makes me happy as a Lions fan that he says, hey, we were out schemed, we were out game planned, they came in here knowing what to do. And if anything, we took it too lightly.
Yeah.
We took that way too much for granted because, dude, the place was packed. The energy was nuts.
Yeah.
But when I saw you guys take the field, it was like nobody mattered. Like your quarterback was so laser focused in.
Yeah.
It was like we weren't even there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on Josh is on a different level of maturation this year. Obviously Diggs is out of there. There was definitely something going on internally with those two causing a little bit of a distraction. I don't know exactly what was going on, but yeah, he's on a different level this year. He's got his head's in the game. The organization made some moves that put him in a better position to effectively, be who he is. And he's just playing like that dude this year, man. The guy broke his hand week 1. Hasn't said anything about it really until recently, and every week he's come out and just keep balling. And I love the kid, man. He's great football player, obviously, but I love him more because he's a great human. He's great for the community of Buffalo, and you love to see guys like that in those franchises. He's the perfect guy for that team, is what I would say. I would say it's the same thing like Dan Campbell was a perfect coach to go into Detroit, just with his mindset and his attitude, and then everyone else follows. So Josh has got a good thing going right now, man.
Is there anything about his game that scares you right now that makes you a little nervous?
Yeah, you know what? I still think his deep passing hasn't been on point this year. His accuracy is better, but we haven't made a lot of connections. And I was listening to your last podcast, and one of the things you asked for before that Bears game is just give me a big play. Give me a big play, you know what? And we'll take it. And it's the same thing. I love the marching down the field, and that's great. I want to see a couple big plays, man. Like we bring in this kid Keon Coleman. He's supposed to be high point ball, jump ball, go get it, and he hasn't shown that really. Dalton Kincaid is supposed to be a field stretcher down the seams. Hasn't really used him to that effect. Josh is making good connections with his RBs and the short passing game, but that deep passing game where you need to attack the defense vertically, I feel like we're missing there. Otherwise, man, the kid's been playing pretty solid, man. Another thing that concerns me, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, is that when he rolls out of the pocket, he always rolls to the right side. So
he does.
If defenses can pick up on that and either have a spy or just have someone set the edge there on his throwing arm side, that could create some trouble for him and the offense. So we'll see how they adjust. They're talking about sitting him out for the next couple weeks, and we'll see from there.
See, that's crazy that you see that, I see that, we all see it. I'm at the game watching it, looking at the same thing, saying, where's the spy?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, he literally is rolling out to the same spot every time, right to his running back.
Yeah.
It was just replay, repeat. Shocked me we made we didn't really make a lot of those adjustments. Like it pissed me off that they waited till halftime to even think about making adjustments. Not taking a team like the Bills serious enough.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that you say that, because I don't know if Jared Goff listens to the podcast or Ben Johnson does, but they had that big play with JMO over the top.
Yeah.
He has a record game. I'm thinking that's what I want to see. That's what you bring these guys that can stretch the field and take it over the top. It's almost like the NFL now is too afraid to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It really is RPO central.
Yeah. A lot of defenses now play that too high safety to almost because of the Chiefs, right? They want to eliminate that deep passing game, but man, like you said, man, you can like who's covering JMO down the seam?
Yeah.
There's very rare. You saw it against the Bears, man. You just put it up there and he'll go get it. I think offenses need to start to reconsider that part of their offense more often, man, because they're putting people to sleep with the RPO, the short passing game. You have an opportunity to attack vertically. So Ben Johnson, he's a smart fella. He's a smart fella.
So smart, he's not going to take that Chicago job because he knows that team is destined for Pete Carroll's old ass. Let him retread and play a USC quarterback and have fun and make a perfect story. Because I'm telling you, dude, Ben Johnson is so smart that guy is waiting for his Dan Campbell moment, where he goes to an organization that says, Ben, here's the keys.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do is what we want to do. He knows how it works.
Yeah.
He's not a Josh McDaniels where he's going to go, I'm just going to leave the organization because I was under Bill Belichick and go somewhere and think I could do it. He goes, no, I get how a successful football team wins, right?
Yeah.
Let me win the Super Bowl with the Lions and I'll pick a team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like every year there's 5-6 teams that need a coach.
Yep. Yeah, he's definitely in the driver's seat with that. And I guess my question to you guys is, what's your concern level or fear level, I guess, however you want to word it, with him leaving and that affecting the offense?
I really don't have a high level of concern because I feel like he's been here long enough to almost kind of what we've done with our team of like a next man up, right? It doesn't matter who we put in that position. It's a mindset, right? It's you either fit into the mold of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. And when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell put this team together, they put like 3 things down that they said that every decision will be made by, right? And I feel like whoever comes into that organization with those guys' blessing, I'm okay with. Because I'm not going to lie and pretend I knew who the hell Ben Johnson was before this. I knew Dan Campbell because he played tight end for us, and I watched the Saints, right, when he coached. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't even have told you that Antoine Randall was going to do what he's done with the wide receivers or the list goes on. So we trust in Brad. That's what we do here at the Lions. And Brad, we trust.
He's proven himself year after year since coming from the Rams. His drafting is unmatched. He's brought in some studs for you guys. His personnel decisions have been great, and you guys are in a good spot, man. My concern, like I said, Johnson leaving, Aaron Glenn's his name's getting tossed out there too.
Yeah.
You get those changes with the coordinators, man. It could create a little bit of a shift in what you guys do.
I think it'll make a shift, but I think it'll open up some opportunity because I think as we continue to be a respectable franchise, and you've seen it with the Bills, you now attract some free agents that have a little bit of potential coaching pedigree under their belt, right? Mm-hmm. Guys that are coming here now going, I want to be a part of something. So there's more of a leadership. It's not just on the defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Zadarius Smith, we draft for him or we trade for him.
Great pickup.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
Sits on the bench the first game because he's not playing, and he's coaching the defensive line. He's coaching them to get sacks.
Yeah.
So I just feel like whoever walks into Ford Field, as long as Brad's picked them, I'm very happy. Mm-hmm. Now, what I am a little nervous to see on the back end of this season is we've now set the bar as a Lions fan of the playoffs are a must, which we've locked up a spot. But Wayne, you don't understand how important it is for us to get home field advantage. For us to get that number 1 seed is huge.
That was going to be my next my next comment is, yeah, like,
That's what I'm all focused in on right now.
yep.
So while you guys are comfortable with sitting Josh Allen and you've been there before, you know what it feels like. This is still a really nervous time, thin ice, even though we are only a 2-loss team, right?
Yep.
Um, we're playing San Francisco Monday night, gives us some time to heal.
Mhm.
I think that's a rematch from last year where we're still pissed off and we win that game. I want to see a point where this Vikings game is meaningless.
Yeah. Yeah. You go take care of business on Monday. At the same time, though, there's that famous, it's the trap game, right? San
Yeah.
Fran's in between you guys and playing the Vikings the next week. That's a massive game.
Yes.
Huge.
Huge. And we have to rely on the Packers to beat the Vikings.
Which is an equally
right?
massive game. Like, so the schedule makers did it right this year
Yeah.
by setting up some of these matchups. But yeah, there's that you always gotta that side eye look behind your back. What's Minnesota doing? Are they winning? Or sorry, no, you guys play Monday night, yeah. So you'll know going
Yeah.
into your game, which is the advantage for you guys actually.
Yeah.
You win and it's over. Well, do you guys win the first one? Yeah, you did win the first one. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we beat San Francisco and Minnesota loses, then it is irrelevant.
Sealed.
We've got the North. We're sitting comfortable. We're sitting pretty. And again, too, as a Lions fan, I'm telling you, for the last 30 some years, all we do is we get closure at the 1:00 games.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough sitting through the whole weekend of the NFL knowing that we don't play till Monday night. As exciting as that sounds, it's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're just not used to being here.
Yeah.
We're not used to being at the dance. We're not even used to being at the head table, let alone nominated, right, for Homecoming King. So we're that pimply kid that stayed home. That's been the MO since the 50s, my man.
What a great analogy that was.
It's a brutal one though, but like, dude, this was my Halloween costume from '92. I was Barry Sanders. That's the last what we've had.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Calvin and Stafford and Spielman, but like, dude, Barry is the last thing that the Lions have had.
Right. Exactly, man. And I'm glad you said that because it is a different feeling when you're the hunted as opposed to the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's got their eyes on you and everyone's gunning for you now. And yeah, you gotta adjust how you approach your mindset when it comes to these situations. And you know what? It's a good feeling to be in. It's a good position to be in.
Yeah.
And it's what every franchise wants is to be that dude that everyone's trying to go after. So, but it does make you have to adjust how you look at and approach the weeks. And as a fan, for sure, man, it puts a little bit more stress on you guys, but you guys have been handling it quite admirably. I do still feel there's a little bit of, I don't know how to word it. I don't want to say delusion, but you know what? You always have to believe you're going to win the Super Bowl. I still think there's a little bit of seasoning. There's a little bit of you have to overcome some adversity. And it's funny, I compare the Lions to the Bills, man. The Bills in 2021 when they took the Chiefs to the brink there, and we lost that heartbreaker, and then we haven't got back to that point since. And it's hard, man. It's hard. So you look at that game last year against the Niners, and you're right there, half away, a bounce off the helmet away from beating them. You have to be able to get back to that point this year to get over that hump, and it's hard. So that's going to be the most.
Well, when you have an 11-win season and you're the Lions fan base, that's what they expect now.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
And you guys prove to us that if you want to be this team every year, you got to adjust when you play good teams because we didn't adjust.
Mm-hmm.
You guys came into Ford Field and we said, yeah, that we're the Lions. We're on a win streak. We'll attack the quarterback. We'll run the ball. No. No. A team that's been there before came and said, hey, guys, I know you really haven't played a lot of meaningful football at the end of this season, but this is how it's done.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's what I want to see, man. That's like you said, we're not seasoned yet. And I think we're going all in Super Bowl or bust right now because the next 5 years is going to just be like this.
Yeah.
We're never going to have this level of excitement again.
Right.
We're going to the bar has been raised. now like we've got with other fan bases where we expect to win.
Mhm.
So it's great that we're 9-1. Awesome. Are jersey sales going to be that high? Doubt it. Everyone's kind of bought their jerseys and got their hype up now, but this is going to be a hard season to top,
Yeah.
with or without a Super Bowl. But I promise you, if, or I should say, when they win the Super Bowl, when you look over that river into Detroit, it's going to just be nuts.
Oh man.
I always said the whole city would be catch on fire and riot, but
Yeah.
it won't. It will literally be the biggest, craziest fun party
Yeah.
ever.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what's going to unite everybody, honestly.
Yeah.
Screw aliens. I think it's going to be the Lions winning the Super Bowl unites
Just
everybody.
galvanize the city. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it happening,
Dude.
man. You guys been the city's been waiting. It's on that boiling point, ready to implode, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. The city deserves it. The fan base deserves it. And if you guys can make it happen, then you know what? That's for sure. Obviously, I'm over here rooting for the Bills, hoping that doesn't happen. Hopefully, we don't, because if in the opposite side the Bills do that, I'll tell you one thing: you better send the National Guard up to northern New York State to protect the community, because it's going to be a serious celebration.
Yeah, I was going to say, how crazy is it going to be? Because you guys were in the Super Bowl, what, 4 years in a row and never won?
Yeah. It's been since then, really, since we've had that level of success. We made the playoffs here and there, but like you guys, man, we every year is just that building and building, and we've been doing it now for 5 years, where we've been that team to win the division, and we've made it close to the finals, and we need that dub, man. We need that championship to validate all of our hard work, and to overcome the demons of the 4 straight losses. And there's so much that's involved that holy cow, man! I'm frightful to see what will happen to Buffalo if they're able to pull it off.
So, speaking of pulling it off, so what is your path? What is your ideal path to the Super Bowl? Like, I just kind of laid the Lions out.
Yeah.
What are you guys sitting on?
Oh man. Well, obviously the number one seed's gone, so we're trudging through KC, worst case scenario. But like I said, I think KC's going to get smacked by whoever they play in the second round, and we'll go from there. I'll tell you one thing, man. There's one team that is on the potential radar that I'm fearful of. There's 2 teams. I'm scared of the Ravens just because of Henry and
Yeah.
Lamar and what they're doing right now. Like, Lamar is playing at a different level, and people aren't saying anything about Derrick Henry. That guy's put up 1,700 yards. The guy's a beast.
Dude.
They already played us earlier in the year and destroyed us. But I'm more fearful of the Bengals. Burrow and his boys
Okay.
in that offense are on fire, and I'm rooting for the Broncos this weekend. But if the Bengals somehow sneak into the playoffs in that last spot, the playoffs in that first round, and I love my Bills, but man, Joe Burrow in the playoffs, that guy's lethal. So
You think he'll tear you guys up?
he'll give us a good game, man. That guy offensively, the Bengals right now, I don't know, they're on a different level. Chase Brown, no one knows really about this kid. This kid's putting up numbers. Obviously, Chase and Burrow are on fire offensively, and you got T. Higgins in there, whoever else they got on their squad, but just Joe Burrow, man, that guy is a man on a mission right now. And if their record was a little bit different, he'd be probably number one conversation for MVP the season he's having. Excuse me.
You know, that's interesting that you brought up some of those names, because T. Higgins was linked to the Lions, and I kept telling myself, I'm like, what is so special about this guy? But he seems to have a lot of boomer bust qualities. Like, he seems to be either phenomenal, and that just seems to be the Bengals, honestly.
Yes.
I do like the way that team was constructed, and really thought they would have sat a little bit higher on top for longer, but their fall was pretty drastic.
Mhm.
But it's an interesting thing that you brought that up, because I've got a couple teams like that on our side, like the Eagles.
Yeah.
I just can't stand the Eagles. I don't like them. I don't like their fan base. I never have. I don't like any of their players, except for the cornerback that broke my heart when he left was Darius Slay.
Big play.
Big play Slay was kind of, my friend and I always said as Lions fans, we always wanted a real hood corner, like a real mouthy, talks a lot of shit. He was the first breath of fresh air into the locker room.
Yeah.
And then Fat Patricia comes in, who I'd rather bring Matt Dillon back and give him an honorary jersey in the rafters.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia to me was the most evil thing that ever hit that organization and chased Darius Slay out.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forgive him. I don't blame Slay for not wanting to come back, but dude, that's my team, the Eagles.
Mhm.
They seem to get hot at the end. I know Jalen is got a concussion, but
Saquon.
you're not an NFC guy, but yeah, Saquon, dude, look at that. Like, does the Eagles scare you a little bit? Do you see what I see?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like Saquon Barkley right now on this with this offensive line and the season that he's putting up, like the guy's a one man weapon. And
Yeah.
you know, if they can figure out and get him the ball early, it's dangerous for anyone. But then you throw in AJ Brown, you got Slim Reaper over there. They got so many weapons. When Hurts gets out of his concussion protocol, they're going to be awesome. And defensively, they're strong. There's a lot of good personalities over there. They're just a good team, man. But the one thing that separates you guys is the coaching. I'm not a fan of Sirianni.
Yeah.
I think Sirianni's a moron, to be honest with you. And
He's an idiot.
yeah, and then you know what? The coaching staff and the coaching decisions that they make is going to be one thing that I feel can separate and make in terms of those clutch situations. Their kicker's not very. Elliott's not having the greatest year. He doesn't have a strong leg. Just he missed a chippy, not a chippy, but some people, these kickers are putting up 60-yard field goals. This guy barely can hit from 50. So that's a big thing too.
And those are the reasons why you just highlighted it. That's why we deserve the number 1 seed. Our coaching staff is better. We're nicer. We're better. We're just a better rounded team.
Yeah.
They're just such a farty kind of like has been. They're really wearing thin on me.
Yeah.
I should even say is like, how is this an even functioning organization?
Honestly, you're in. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say you're in week 15, and the major headline is AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts aren't friends and aren't getting along. And
Yeah.
how do you have that kind of drama? You're supposed to be a top playoff driven team, and then you have little side drama like that. Like that's the kind of stuff that disrupts the locker room and brings negative attention to the team. That it slows you down. It definitely wears on guys. Reporters asking questions about the wrong things, and then you got guys like Brandon Graham having to explain himself and then backtrack on what he said, and you can't have that kind of stuff this late into the season. You know what?
I really hope that the culture prevails.
Yeah.
I like that idea. You're right, because the Lions culture is so much more respectful and deserves so much more than the Eagles culture does.
Yeah.
And that's the team for me on our side of the conference where I just have zero respect and zero patience for.
Yep.
There's so many teams that I can say that we can play and I'll go, hey, I really like what Houston's doing. I think I really like CJ Stroud. I like how they're putting that team together.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're having some second year trouble right now, kind of taking that offense to the next level, which is expected, right? But there are a lot of teams that we play that I can respect.
Mm-hmm.
I have no respect for the Eagles.
Yeah. How about this? How about the Vikings? What are your thoughts on them?
Man, I kept saying in the earlier part of the season that they're just not real. And what I mean by that is I just don't think that they're a real playoff team. I think that they've done a really nice job at winning games, and they found ways to win games. I think their head coach is Kevin O'Connell, is a very smart guy.
Yeah.
I think once he can get JJ McCarthy with Justin Jefferson and maybe a nice draft and some healthy resources, I think that team's going to be a lot more scary down the line. Right now, they're kind of like this, kind of like us, maybe was it last year where we were literally fighting just to piss Green Bay's season off, where we were a scrappy team, can beat you, can put points up, but I don't see them as a real threat. I just don't.
you just compare them to themselves. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago when they had Cousins there. They were
Yeah.
13-4. They led the division, but it was the same thing. They would just somehow win games. They were just a fake, yeah, same thing. They were a fake team. And then what happened? They lose first round to the Giants, to the last seed team, right? So
Because you're not real.
yeah.
You're not built all around, right?
Mhm.
And the culture stuff that we've been kind of going back and forth on, and the Vikings are missing a lot of that, and they had that run in the NFC, and then the Packers took it over. They have the ability. Like, I'm not trying to be a Vikings fan, but they have the ability to do that, but they just kind of keep being. They can't get out of puberty. How about that? They're kind of in that puberty stage where it's like, oh, they're about to look sexy. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, their defense is really good. And then JJ gets hurt and you get Sam Darnold. And it's like, he's a 1-year retread quarterback. He's a Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
He's in a system that is kind of protecting his flaws.
Yeah.
And because he's Sam Darnold, no one's really going, all right, we got to shut Sam Darnold down. Let's be honest, right?
Right. You're right.
We're playing Josh Allen, and we're going, okay, all eyes on Josh Allen. With Sam Darnold, we're going, okay, it's a collective. We have to shut down Justin Jefferson first. That's number one.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have Justin Jefferson in that defense, he's Sam Darnold of the Jets.
Mhm.
So, I think our division is really going to just be the Lions and the Packers for the next 5 years. In Lions and Packers. And I say that with confidence. I really do, because we draft better, we have a better quarterback, and we have a better general manager.
Yeah.
And we never could say that before.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair point. In terms of, so let's just say hypotheticals, right? You guys got a, great season. Somehow you don't get that number one seed. How do you feel going on the road to win?
I feel like we're built to do that. I honestly feel like that's kind of in our DNA more, is to go on the road, to be the underdog, to be kind of obviously Vegas is respecting our offense now, but it's probably a more comfortable path for our identity. But I think we deserve it. It's still winnable. We can still do it.
Yeah.
Wayne, I'm not going to lie, the injuries scare me, but we're going to get healthy. People are starting to forget that Anzalone's coming back, that Montgomery isn't out for the season. So a lot of these injuries on the defensive side of the ball, they're holding them for the playoffs. So if everybody comes back the way they're supposed to for the playoffs, we can still win on the road, man. It's going to be a lot more grittier. It's going to be a lot more stressful, but we can do it.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know, man. I'm not too crazy about having to rely on those guys coming back. You guys have a good base, what you got right now. Montgomery coming back with a sprained MCL. I don't know how effective he's going to be. I've seen it done before, but even as a mental energizer for the team, that's probably going to be huge. Anzalone coming back, yeah, that's a low key one that you guys need to get, because I don't know. I haven't been watching I watch you guys quite frequently, but I don't know if Jack Campbell has stepped up to the degree that they were hoping that he would to this point yet. But yeah, Anzalone coming back, that's almost like your energizer. Other than Hutch, that's your galvanizer for the defense. So yeah, a couple of those additions could help the locker room. But on the field, yeah, man, you just got to ball with who you got, and your defense has always been able to figure it out so far, and you guys just keep winning games, and it's going to be that way, right? At the end of the day, you're going to rely on Jared Goff, on Jahmyr Gibbs and St. Brown, that O-line, and JMO, and you guys got to put up as many points as you can.
Thank you. That's it. And just at least win by one. That's what Dan Campbell said.
And that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Well, perfect.
So I don't know, man.
Well, thanks for coming on, Wayne.
Yeah.
Dude, this was awesome.
I appreciate it, man.
You think you're going to be able to come back on again?
Yeah, I'm down anytime, brother. Anytime.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I'd like to get you back on with my buddy Hish.
Yeah.
His family party schedule has been way different than ours. So, one of these days, like we try to do it on Tuesday nights. Well, that's actually what we're sticking with. So, but yeah, dude, I would love to have you back on here because we're at 40 minutes and this has been fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I
can still
I
go.
swore. That was I told myself I would swear.
Oh,
But yeah, no, that's I just real quick. I'm taking a look at these playoffs because I pulled it up and you got me thinking now. You really do. Um, right now, Philly's slated to play Washington.
yeah.
And that's a team that I didn't mention. That's a team that I kind of want to see disrupt the NFC, and I like what they're doing
Yes.
because last week's game against Philly
Huge.
was,
Wow.
dude,
Wow.
if we see the Lions clinch the first spot and Philly's got to play Washington in a rematch, dude, Washington's going in there and winning that game.
They're playing like that kid who's got nothing to lose, and
Nothing to lose.
young, fast, free. Jaden Daniels is playing unbelievable, and yeah, Dan Quinn's got them in the right mindset. They're playing hard. Yeah, that's definitely an up and coming team that could make some noise for sure.
And then you got the Rams playing the Packers, and that's a team of equals, almost like two teams that are just kind of like they can you can beat both teams, right?
Yeah.
They're not amazing, but I think it'll be like a very. I still think the Rams take that one for some reason. I feel like this is Stafford's last year,
Yep.
and he's pushing every last button to just try and get to that next step.
If he wins,
and then you've got
if the Rams win that, you know it's going to be Lions Rams in the second round
oh my
in
god,
Detroit. Stafford coming back. He's that's made for TV stuff.
what a story!
Oh my God.
Okay, I think I like where you're headed, where your storybook's going. So Lions stay, then they go. We get Rams second round at home. Stafford's last year.
Yep.
We send him and Kelly packing.
Oof.
And we move on to the Super Bowl. Wow, that would be literally that is some creepy shit right there because you take the trade that we got with LA and how we literally gave them a Super Bowl, right? And then our Super Bowl year is the path to them.
You have to go through it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy moly. That's some pretty next level shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Then you got, let's see, Falcons and Vikings. Again, two teams I don't think that are real. Those are toss away teams.
Yeah.
They just don't exist. And then you guys are. It's tough, man. Yeah. You guys can beat Denver.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're it's Baltimore. It's if the Bengals can somehow sneak in there, potentially, but no, right now Baltimore is a team that causes me the most anxiety. And then obviously if we're able to succeed against them and make it through, then going to Arrowhead. That's the thing.
Going Arrowhead.
Same like us, man. You gotta go through Stafford potentially. We have to go through it. I'm a big Raptors fan as well. Sorry to change the subject, but the year the Raptors
No, it's sports.
Raptors won the championship there. It was almost like you had to go through Cleveland and LeBron, but thank God LeBron got traded. We didn't have to go through that drama, but they owned us, man, and we didn't have to go through them. But in terms of like the juju of sports, you have to beat the bully, as what I always say. In order to fully overcome any type of the historical bullshit, you have to beat your bully. And we have to beat the Chiefs in order to justify or validate our season, man. So.
Well, it must be nice that you guys have one bully because for years we've had a lot of bullies. Really, we've had everything, and we've beaten all those bullies. And I like that mentality. It's almost like a countdown of how many fights you've gotten through.
Yeah.
We've even beaten the bully of the media. The media now does not disrespect, if anything. It's like overwhelmingly too much on the Lions to where I get nervous. I'm like, okay, guys, slow down. Don't jinx us, right? Yeah. And our bully really is just going to be that Stafford trade. That well, we got a Super Bowl out of it. What'd you get out of it? Oh, some great seasons. Yeah. Great. Yep. It's all about that Super Bowl. And then Goff beating the team that traded him. That said, hey, thanks for taking us to a Super Bowl, but
huge.
Have fun in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. That's made for TV stuff. I'm all for it. And you know, playoffs are going to be exciting, man. We'll start tomorrow. Bengals Broncos. Keep an eye
Yeah.
out. That's going to be a good game, and then finish off Monday night, going into the last week.
Hell yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, let's end it with that energy
Yeah, brother.
because, dude, I love this, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And have fun over in Canada the next couple days. Hopefully, you guys can feel the intensity. I know Ford Field, they're going to be doing that. I think they're going to be doing like a Monday night watch at Ford Field.
Okay.
So I know downtown should still be pumping like crazy.
Awesome.
So
I love it, man.
I'll be texting you throughout the game too. So
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
perfect, man. All right. Well, thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Keep up the success, man. Take care.
Thanks, brother. See ya.
See ya.